Hunting San Diego. Here we are going into Luna Games, San Diego suburbs or San Diego area. I hear it's one of the best places in town. My buddy Retro Jay says to come here and check it out, so here we go. Walking into Luna Games, we noticed that the shelves were stocked to the brim, very well organized. All the generations of consoles are in there, from the earliest to the oldest, and we had a good time meeting the worker there, Ian. He guided us through some of the stock. We shared some stories about gaming and really made a good friend. Hey guys, just got done at Luna Games here in San Diego. What's the location? Actual location? We're in either Chula Vista or in SDSU. I don't know what that is. We went to Luna Games. They gave us some advertising. They got a sale coming up next week and we're gonna check out. And they gave us a coupon for the next store. We didn't do any crazy hunting or finding, but we did find some, me and my brother-in-law Oscar, we found some SNES hard cases, some boots for some SNES, and quite a few sleeves for some NES games. And they hooked us up with the cool bag. We talked a little bit about the home store in Prescott Valley, hooked us up with the cool bag, and just gave us a lowdown of what they do here and what they're all about, shared some stories, and we're gonna go back in Saturday, maybe meet some people or find some good games. We sort of scouted out some games that may be good for collection. Oscar just opened up his boxes and we found a whole bunch of games. He had Harvest Moon in there. He's got it for the N64, which my buddy Josh at home, he wants it from him. And he's got Harvest Moon for the SNES and a whole bunch of games. So we're gonna probably get some footage of that. And so share a little bit of Oscar's collection. Unfortunately, he's opened it up just before it ships out to Italy. And so, but he'll be helping me build something here that'll suffice in the meantime. So check it out. I appreciate you checking in the channel. We'll be on to the next store. So we did a simple pickup at the Chula Vista Luna Games, and then we were off to get some food. We decided to stop at Oscar's favorite Filipino restaurant and get fueled up on some good Filipino eats. Then we were off to the next location. The SDSU location for Luna Games is in San Diego, and from my understanding, when we were speaking to Ian at the Chula Vista location, they end up having 3 stores at one point, and then they combine them so that they can have more product at both stores to better supply the retro community. After hitting up both the SDSU location and the Chula Vista location, we were beat. Oscar and I decided to head back home. Oscar jumped on the internet and checked out sites like OfferUp, Let It Go, eBay, Craigslist, and we were just taking a look at any other deals that may be out there. Oscar found a great deal on a Wii U for around $50 with some games, a hard drive, had emulators on it, and then also picked up a great deal on a Wii U and several games. We ended up hooking them all up, see if they all worked, and everything was great. So at that point, we decided to spend some time with our wives and the family, let the kids play on the N64, and they were playing some Mario Party, while the adults were playing some Bomberman. So we just had a blast. Just hit up the
Kolby Swap Meet.
The Kolby Swap Meet in San Diego, and we picked up some buys here, a little bit of everything. We'll go over these later, but I got Twisted Metal Black, Blades of Steel, and a little handheld baseball here. And my brother-in-law picked up a few good items. We picked up a Sega Nomad. He got that for 20 bucks. The guy let us check it out. Powered up, snagged a power adapter off a Sega Genesis. Looks like it's the same output on everything, but it at least lights up, but we'll see if it actually works. But hey, it's like 60-70 bucks is what he saw. One went on eBay that went broken. Then he found just some cool items you don't normally see. We got Spider-Man for the Sega for Advance. We got Spyro 2, and we'll have to look this one up. But he got a Famicom game. He doesn't have Famicom system, but we got a Famicom game. It's all in the sun, so we'll have to check it out later. And then last but not least, my wife picked me up a pretty awesome luchador mask for a few bucks, and my son a matching one with like a cape. So that was our find at this one. We're gonna hit up another swap meet maybe across town, see what's going on. We're hitting it a little bit late. We heard a few guys snuck in and got some boxed NES games for real cheap from a guy, but we're out on the checking out the swap meets and whatnot, and just see what we can come up with. So enjoy the rest of the hunt. Pull into a place called Book Off. Heard about this place just browsing through some internet searches last night. I hear it's like if you're from the Prescott Valley area, sort of like a Hastings, and it has all sorts of books and graphic novels, and they deal in tablets and reading devices, as well as video games. So I've heard that you can get some retro video games, some controllers, some consoles and stuff. Maybe they slip up on price. Looks like it's over there, Book Off. Don't know much about it, but we heard about it. It's here in Escondido, California. We just left the swap meet, Kolby's in San Diego, and now we're checking out just this bookstore, used books and whatnot, and see what they have on hand. Once we got into Book Off, we realized they had a little bit of everything, very Japanese oriented in there. The employees were all speaking Japanese. They had video games to graphic novels, comic books, chibis, everything. You could find it all there. But we didn't find any great deals, so we ended up deciding to leave that store, and we headed up a little bit north from here. Along the way, we found an awesome toy store. They had a bunch of retro toys, reasonably priced, some hard to find, some easy, cheesy stuff, and some just general product for kids to play with. But we ended up moving on from there. All right, guys, so we moved up to North Park, a suburb in San Diego, sort of just next to Escondido from our last stop. Looks like we're going to Red Brontosaurus Records. Red Brontosaurus Records sells records. Saw a guy as we drove by with a guitar in hand, but they also have a sticker on the window that says they have video games. So we're going to check it out. Real chillax area of San Diego. North Park, there's seems like a little more art community, just different kind of things. So we're going to check this place out, Red Brontosaurus Records. Red Brontosaurus had a great selection of games, also had a great selection of vinyl, ended up debating a little bit about the history of the TurboGrafx with the shopkeep, but all in all, we had a great time. Hey guys, we're coming back from Red Brontosaurus Records, where we found quite a few games. He had a little bit better selection than the last store we at, and definitely better than the swap meet. And he got some fair prices, nothing crazy. He was asking for some fair market value on some games, had a couple copies of games you didn't see around. This kind of area, you'd have to definitely sort of venture out. It's sort of a, like I said, more of a liberal community, but there's nothing wrong with that. They got it was like a cool hipster store that sold vinyl, and sold some video games. I ended up picking UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship for the Sega Dreamcast, old game that I used to have before all my games got jacked. He had it for $5, so I ended up getting it just to add to the collection. Maybe play with Oscar when he comes over to Arizona. And it's just been a good day today. We have met some people, talked to some people. I talked to a lady there. She asked me, do you know a lot about video games? And I'm looking for something for sort of retro, but he only has an Xbox 360 for my husband, and he's like 28 years old. And I'm like, I don't know. So we ended up picking Turok. So, but catch up on the video and just check out what's going on. We're gonna try to hit maybe probably head home now, but we got one more sale coming up this weekend at Luna Games, so we're going to check that out, see if we can get some good deals there too. As mentioned in my last video, I wanted to add a segment called Did You Know? Did you know that Super Nintendo cartridges had early and late releases? Super Castlevania 4 is one of them. I picked up a copy before heading out to San Diego, and I was a little bit concerned that it may be a fake. With a faded label, and on the back you can see a molded warning label, whereas the normal copies that most everyone has in their collection has a sticker on the back. So that led me to believe I might have a fake, but at $25 I was willing to take the risk. So I did some researching. I found my cartridge was assembled in Mexico, and most cartridges were made in Japan, as you can see here in my brother-in-law's copy. But they're the same game, right? Well, I took them apart and I decided to do a little bit of hunting. I found that there was some different hardware, different size screws. I found that the boards were pretty much the same. However, Majesco made copies with the Majesco sales chip along with a Nintendo chip, and it works fine. It goes into my Nintendo. I see no differences really. And here you can see my brother-in-law's copy has a Toshiba chip along with the Nintendo chip on there. And that's the first release. But ultimately, the boards look very, very similar. I was able to play Castlevania 4 on my SNES Classic, and I really didn't notice a difference between my copy assembled in Mexico and that one. I wasn't able to play my brother-in-law's, but there seems to be no difference. They did put out black and white instructions with the Majesco copies versus a color copy on the original release, but companies were just outsourcing to get these re-releases so they could focus in on bigger and better projects as the Super Nintendo was coming to an end and the N64 was on its coattails. So that's a tidbit of information. Hope you guys learned some. Please comment down below and leave any questions you have. My last day in San Diego, with only a few hours to spare, we headed out to Luna Games to take advantage of their sale, and then we were going to meet up with the guy to get an N64. I apologize for the on-the-go audio. Hey guys, so Oscar and I just hit up Luna Games, one of our last trips out while I'm out here in San Diego for the week, and we ended up doing like a brother-in-law buy here. So it was a buy two, get one free at Luna Games. We went to the Chula Vista location, and we found some pretty cool games. We were looking at some big titles, deciding do we want to get like $30, $40 games, get two of those and get a $40 game for free. You know, make $120 of games worth it for 80 bucks. But we just really couldn't find anything that was really catching our eyes. Oscar's been hunting all week, and we're actually going to get another buy right now. But I just want to show you some of the things we picked up. So this here is Oscar's buy. He got Ultima, Mystery Quest, and King's Knight, each $7.99. Not a bad deal. So we ended up getting one for free, so it was like 21 bucks or something. And then I did my own buy, and like I said, this is sort of like a brother-in-law buy. We got same games here. We have King's Knight, Mystery Quest, but I got Mickey Mouse Capade. So between the two of us, we're going to be able to play some crazy fun games. All of them here for a while. And then the wife on the way into San Diego was asking me to pick up something for the kids. Penelope wanted something that would more of a platformer. So we ended up getting my first deal. We ended up getting Kirby. Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland. So I hear that's a pretty fun little platformer game. Got that. And then we got Super Mario 3 on the Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy Advance Super Mario 3 or whatever, 4 or whatever they call it. But it's basically Super Mario 3. I got that. And then last on our deal, we ended up getting Super Mario Kart DS. This is cool because the kids can play it on the way home from San Diego, link up the DSs, and play against each other. So essentially the kids got 2 new games to play on the way home on their own or together, and that's pretty cool. So looks like we're on our way northbound on I-5 right now. We're going to go hit up a Craigslist post or something, N64 buy. So I'll post that in a few, but Oscar got some of those lined up, and we're just looking to finish up, wrap up with a good weekend hunting, and I'm leaving Oscar to his own accord, I guess, when it comes to his hunting. So he's got another 30 days before he comes visit me for a month before he heads out to Italy. So I'm going to try to tame him down so he doesn't buy up all of San Diego's video game stock and open up a store and not go to Italy. So, but if he does that, I'd be okay with it too. But we'll see how that works out. So tune in for the next clip in the N64 pickup. And then I'm out. I'm out of here, heading back to work on Monday, going back to Arizona. So this is San Diego. Hey guys, so we finished up our last pickup. Oscar got a deal on like Facebook or Facebook Market page or Craigslist or something. Let Go. We got him on Let Go. But he was looking for some N64 games. Ran into a guy selling system for $110. Ended up talking him down a few bucks. Got it like 80 something. So that was a good deal. So we ended up getting an N64 with the expansion pack on the memory, a couple controllers, looks like a microphone, and we're just going to go through some of the games here. So here we got Mario 64. And getting Super Smash Brothers. We've actually been playing this with the kids on his system at home. Donkey Kong Country 64. This is what you need the expansion pack for to be able to play. All-Star Baseballs 2000. Zelda Majora's Mask. This right here is the reflective cover. Ended up getting Pokemon Stadium. And a few others here. We got AU Pikachu, Pokemon Puzzle League, and Kirby the Crystal Shards. So also ended up getting that good deal. Oh, and we had a Rayman in there. Rayman 2 was also in there. So we ended up getting like 9 or 10 games at N64 for a streaming deal under $100, closer to 80. And that was our last pickup while I'm here in San Diego. We're on our way now to get some food for the family, get the trailer packed up, and head back from San Diego to northern Arizona and get the family unpacked for church tomorrow. So we've enjoyed playing lots of video games with the family, doing some hunting, hanging out, just having good family time before Oscar comes home for a month and then ships out to Italy for a few years. He's in the Navy, so it'll be good to see family, and maybe when he hits Phoenix or the Arizona area, we can head down to the valley and check out the thrift shops in Phoenix, some of the game stores that I've been hearing lots of good things about down there, and just meet some new people, do some hunting, and find some good finds. So until next time, make sure to keep smashing buttons, knocking elbows, and keep on gaming on. I appreciate you guys sticking through the bad audio, and I appreciate all the likes and the subscribes. Here's some video from the last bit of our trip in San Diego.
W starts with octopus. W starts with octopus.